It was a corruption case that brought down a government. The 2G spectrum scandal saw then Telecommunications Minister A. Raja allocate airwaves for mobile phones at throwaway prices. 2G spectrum is second-generation telecommunications technology. It allows users to send text messages and emails and access the internet. 9 firms were issued licenses in 2008 in return for paying $300 million. The government's auditor said the licenses should have brought in $39 billion more.
That was the basis on which this court case came up, that whether the people who had allocated the spectrum had kept the best interest of the government and of the people whom they serve in mind when they had given out the spectrum.
Raja was accused of taking $500 million in kickbacks. Investigations also revealed how some of India's richest men sought to exercise influence over political appointments and regulatory decisions. The scandal surprised even a nation where corruption is seen as business as usual.
Certainly for the last 1.5 years almost.
The scandal saw some of the biggest names in Indian corporate houses being summoned and questioned in the court behind me. Top politicians, bureaucrats and businessmen were tried there for 6 years. Those companies included Tatas, Ambanis and Ruyas. The Supreme Court cancelled all 122 licenses issued in 2014, and the scandal led to a humiliating election defeat for the ruling United Progressive Alliance. With more than 700 million customers, India is one of the world's biggest telecom markets. But this case made the next government cautious about auctioning telecom airwaves for 3G and 4G services. As a result, new players hesitated to enter the market, and the government could not meet its expected revenues from the auction.
I've told them if need be, cancel the try also.
You can have an auction only when the next 20 years are predictable. So that's fine, for land or for art paintings, but not in a dynamic field in telecom where the technologies are changing so fast that spectrum's auctions will rarely work.
Major telecommunications players are hoping the government learns from the scandal. They want a stable and transparent pricing regime to insulate them from financial risks. And Indian voters want a government that serves the entire country and not just big business and corrupt politicians. Ishan Russell, TRT World, New Delhi.
And Ishan Russell sent us this update.
The verdict did come as an absolute shocker because the investigating agency, that's the Central Bureau of Investigation, India's premier investigating agency, had said that it had foolproof evidence against the accused. But the court has acquitted all the 16 accused and the 3 companies that were involved. In fact, it said that it waited for 7 years for somebody to bring in concrete evidence. That did not happen, and said this entire case was based on rumor and hearsay. So really egg on the face of the investigating agency that has said that it'll be approaching the higher court against this acquittal. But meanwhile, it's a big relief for the previous government and the party that led that, the Congress party, because it had been saying all along that there was no wrongdoing that was done, and this was an entirely manufactured case, and that somehow they stand vindicated today.